Feeling overwhelmed, overweight, or out of sync with your health and body? Overtime Fitness Toledo. Need motivation and direction with your goals? Overtime Fitness Toledo. Here at Overtime Fitness, we strive to provide a warm, inviting, judgment-free, family-oriented atmosphere, offering customized and nutrition workout training. Because you are worth it. Give us a call and book your session today. 419-708-0005. Overtime Fitness Toledo. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, welcome to Tim's Tid-Bits with Tim and Larry E. How you doing, Larry?
So just fine. You good, Tim?
I am doing really good. Fantastic for a hump day. Almost through with the week.
Right, hump day.
The happy hump day. Whatever happened to that commercial?
I don't know, but anytime somebody say hump and day, I always get happy. I always get happy.
And put hump in the day. Exactly right, man. No, I'll tell you what, things are getting they're not bad here, but everything's cooling down quite a bit. The north,
temperature-wise?
as far as temperature-wise, yeah, we're starting to cool down just a tad bit. We're getting into the snow flurries. We had some snow flurries, I believe, about 2 nights ago. A little bit of dusting.
I was just coming. We get snow flurries, and then it'll rain the same day. Then it's 99 degrees, and it go back to 20. So we don't know.
That's what I loved about Texas. You never know.
Yep. You gotta just bring your suitcase with you.
What do they say? Wait for an hour, and it'll change.
Yeah, you just don't know.
That's Texas weather.
Walk outside with 5, 6 of clothes on. Just take off a layer, depending on what it is. Take it off or leave it on.
You heard? Oh, man. Anyhow, hey, we're going to have an interesting show tonight. There's all kinds of bullshit going on around the world. Let's just keep that real.
Yes.
One of them I find interesting in this volleyball game that keeps going back and forth between, the release of the documents from that January 6th insurrection when Trump was still in office. And now we know that Biden says, I'm not going to exercise executive privilege on this stuff and go ahead and, let the public see what they need to see, as far as Congress doing this investigation on this insurrection.
Right.
And apparently, then the Trump lawyers appealed that. It went to a lower district court, and they said, nah, sorry, you don't hold any type of, privilege like that anymore because you're no longer the president, and presidents aren't kings. They don't reign forever, I believe was his comment. But anyhow, yeah, but then they appealed that and went to another D.C. court, and this is what the D.C. court had to say.
hypocritical.
It's interesting that you can do so much stalling and so much BS and tying up the legal system, and this is costing taxpayers obviously thousands upon thousands of dollars.
I didn't realize you can make so many appeals and actually get them granted. I kind of the whole thing to me was cut and dry. I just he the ride was because of him. He had the opportunity to prevent those people from doing the things they did, and he didn't. Um, and it is what it is. I'm like, why appeal it? But you got to understand, he's a politician. He's a slithery snake, and what documents? I'm like, the part kind of confuses me. The document part. Can you enlighten me on that, Tim? With the documents, is it like did they just have it written somehow, or
It
we're
would
going to
be
do this?
it would be any type of communication. When they look at any communication, it could be via electronics
Okay, yeah,
communications. It could be recorded oral communications.
okay.
Or things of that nature. Because that's how Tricky Dick got himself in trouble. Remember way back into the Watergate era.
Yeah, I remember that. It's the same. Yeah,
They
exactly.
subpoenaed those tapes.
I remember that. Yeah.
In those tapes, when he was talking all that smack about, and there you go.
Yeah. Then he resigned, and then
Johnson, yeah.
Johnson came in. They was trying to see the rights movement and everything like that.
But in any regard, I don't understand the stall tactics. If you've got really nothing to hide, why?
Yeah, exactly. So it was wrong. And when I see that, it goes to show he was at fault. If he wasn't at fault, he'd have been like, you know what, give them everything they need. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not worried about it. Let me move forward and move on with my life. And then I'm done with it. But anybody that's at fault are going to try to find a way to hold back the prosecution somehow. And he's at fault. It's obvious he's at fault.
It's a matter of viewpoint when you said, did he perpetuate the entire event? That depends upon his language. How are you going to interpret his language while he was talking that day? Excuse me, on the steps of the White House. And, I think it's more of his lack of action.
That's his whole presidency.
It was the lack of action more than, did he necessarily perpetuate the entire event? Maybe, maybe not. Did he take any type of steps, to alleviate this? And I see nothing coming out of his camp, except I heard that he was just like watching TV and I don't know.
Sitting back having a drink saying that was me.
Good for me.
Like I say, even if he had just said, I don't care what they're doing, like you said, it could be some documents, it could be verbiage. And at the end of the day, like I say, he could have possibly, whether he did or not, like you said, perpetuated or not, it happened during his term, and he's responsible. That's his legacy. He the whole time he was the president, he did a lot of smoke, throwing up smoke and everything like that, and saying the wrong things and not reacting properly. COVID-19, but that's his legacy. Just laid back, whatever, it'll blow over. That's probably his attitude.
That was kind of his. You got a point, because that was kind of his initial response when it came to the COVID, was it not? Just kind of lay back. It's no big deal.
That's how he is.
And then he started labeling it the China virus and all these other, propaganda, remarks that he likes to spill out.
Just to throw everybody off the reality that it is a killer. It could kill you, and it is going to get worse before it gets better.
And it usually does. And it still is. Yeah, obviously enough, we see it now climbing again. So, anyhow, wow. And you had brought one to my attention that I wanted to share with everybody, and that is this Virginia school teacher that sued because he refused to acknowledge transgenders by their Mr. or Mrs. Miss. Let's watch this video.
All right.
A Loudoun County Public Schools teacher is suing the district. Tanner Cross is on administrative leave for what he said about gender identity. He said he would not call a student who's transgender by their preferred pronoun. Now his lawyers say the school violated Virginia's Constitution. Our Jess Arnold has more on his comments, plus reaction from other teachers and parents.
The Loudoun County Public School Board is considering a policy requiring teachers to allow transgender students to use their preferred pronouns. Leesburg Elementary teacher Tanner Cross spoke out against it at last week's meeting.
I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it's against my religion, it's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child.
2 days later, Cross was placed on paid leave. Now he's suing the district. The lawsuit saying this case, quote, is about whether public schools can punish a teacher for objecting as a private citizen to a proposed policy in a forum designated for the purpose of considering whether to implement such policies. We requested an interview with Cross and his attorney and were directed to a press release. But another LCPS parent spoke out on Cross's behalf.
That's cancel culture. That's hurting someone's freedom of speech. I never thought I would see a day where that would happen in America.
Parent of two, Chris Candace Tuck, who identifies as transgender, agrees that Cross should not be on leave and advocates for an open dialogue instead, but says his words are out there and they matter.
It doesn't matter what my children are. They should be cared for, affirmed, and kept safe by their teachers, their staff, and their faculty. Not for those teachers and staff to bring their religious beliefs in as a way to harass and hurt students.
Cross's lawyers are asking for the court to immediately stop his suspension. LCPS says it does not comment on pending litigation. Jess Arnold, WUSA 9.
Exactly what I said.
Ooh,
now
okay.
there's
one thing. You look like a PE coach or a coach or something like that. You know, I'm gonna tell you a story, real quick story, Tim. Before all this transgender thing happened, a long time ago, I worked at this company and I worked with this one guy. He was gay. Okay. But all of a sudden he comes to work and his name was Eric. And I called him Eric for years. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden he comes to work and said, hey, I need you to start calling me Erica. I said, bro, I'm not gonna call you Erica. All right, I know you as Eric. So no matter, even if you gotta totally just, even if I know you as Eric, so you would have to totally. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it anyway. I would say you gotta totally just put a wig on, change your whole face or whatever I know from you for me to call you Erica because you're Eric. You're always gonna be Eric to me. And he took it, and I was cool with him being gay. I had a problem with that, but he was taking it too far, and it comes down to this point to we are today, and that was like 15 years ago. And now it's like everybody's trying to make us change the way we see people because of a certain movement. I'm like, I couldn't do it. If I know you as Tim, I'm not finna call you Tina. Ain't doing it.
You know, I understand your point. You know, I'm very much like you. I don't have any type of issues. You know, whether you're bi, gay, homosexual, lay, transgender, whatever the case is, wherever you're trying to go with yourself. And I think that's an individual's prerogative if you want to try to, but, you know, it seems to start getting tied up, you know, so, and we talked about this on a previous show, I believe, when we was talking about Chappelle. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody's getting so culturally sensitive. I mean, you know, well, now I've transgendered from, you know, Tim McGiffin to Tina McGiffin. So I want you to call me Miss McGiffin.
I couldn't do it.
See, there's where his point is. And he's like, you're not a miss. You're still a mister,
it's
but you're identifying yourself as a woman, which is okay if that's where you want to go with it. But I, from my standpoint, still see you as Larry.
Right.
You know, I still believe you were put on this.
What would be my name? What would be my name if I went transgender? What was
Latina.
God, dog.
Larissa. Little street hoe.
Boy, I
can see him out slinging on the street. Can you see him out popping his ass on the street? Wait. As these guys drive. Hi.
I had to give me a real man if I was doing like that. Give me a real man. You can't pick me up. I won't want to.
Just think of the pimp you'd have to get.
Man. I couldn't do it. If I already knew you as one thing, I couldn't do it. And like I said, I got another instance. I have a cousin, my cousin Kobe. I grew up with my cousin Kobe. Now he's diamond. He's gay, transgender. Well, he ain't even. He's flaming. He's out there, and his name is Diamond. And I don't see him as Diamond. I see him as Kobe, because I knew him as Kobe and I grew up with him as Kobe. no matter how. I just can't do it. I just cannot go from you and I knowing each other with this relationship and having this kind of bond to all of a sudden I got to change it just because you want to be feminine or female or male now. No, you are what you are.
Oh,
Now, if I never met you,
I understand
never met
exactly.
you-
I understand. No, I understand where you're coming from, because there was people that was in my class as growing up, and they were quite obviously gay. You know, they would walk around holding hands and this and that. And, you know, I didn't have a problem with that. But, you know, when you start going into the, you know, the getting into the club scene and deciding, you know, I like this idea of transgendering, and this is who I really am thinking I'm identifying myself as. But, yeah, like, you know, I don't care. I still remember you from 30, 40 years ago, and this is who the hell you are, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, just don't try to force it on me. Just let me.
Right.
I'm not going to accept it
Relax.
anyway.
I'm not. Yeah, I can care one way or the other.
If you're
Relax.
transgender, you gay, you gay. It's cool, but don't try to force your new stuff on me and saying I got to run with it, because I'm not going to force anything. I might force some training on you, but that's healthy. But what you're doing is not healthy.
You might
just
help them
having
get their
identity
butt in
crisis.
shape. I need to get my butt lifted up, Larry. Can you help me?
I can give you some workout. I'll train anybody.
Oh man.
Just don't force. It's like say that somebody finally become a Muslim and they believe in, like, oh, you become a Christian or a Baptist, you did so much wrong, now you want to do so much right, you're so enthusiastic about it, you want everybody to know and hear about what you're doing. It's okay to do that, but you can't just overwhelm anybody. You can't just totally saturate somebody with everything you're into and disregard their feelings. And that's what I see happening with a lot of these movements that are not built for equality and for the forward movement of human race.
It should be
and
more
I
of
say-
a. It should be more acceptance than.
Yeah, because honestly, being transgender, what them? No, this has been going on for years, even before we talked about it. Now we both know that. It's just that all of a sudden they're trying to force this on us. All of a sudden, stop trying to. We already got to deal with politics, religion. We got to deal with all these other diseases we got going on, all these other things going on in life. Do not try to force that on me when it's not even really that important. That's important to you. And it's not going to make me a better person by calling you Mrs. or Mr. when you're a Miss or Mr. I'm like, come on.
Yep, that's what I say. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
much
Yeah, there's
work.
enough hate going on. And speaking of hate going on in the world, one guy happens to be on trial for his little incident that I thought he brought upon himself. But let's take a look at this.
I understand the lawyers just finished.
Yes, they have completed the rebuttal here by the prosecution, and now this will go to the jury in the morning. They will come back and get to the deliberations here. Look, during the closes today, Shep, prosecutors called Kyle Rittenhouse a wannabe soldier who showed no remorse when he shot those three men, while the defense team painted him as a teenager, chased down, cornered, and attacked, fighting for his life that night.
I think it's no surprise.
Referring to the shootings as murder, reviewing testimony, and replaying videos from that night, prosecutors take their last turn with the jury.
There is no valid self-defense claim.
They say Kyle Rittenhouse provoked the violence by raising his weapon and pointing it at protesters the night he shot and killed two men and wounded a third.
When the defendant provokes the incident, he loses the right to self-defense.
The defense, relying heavily on video as well, says that Rittenhouse was chased down, ambushed, and had no choice but to use his weapon.
He was there, he was causing trouble, he was a rioter, and my client had to deal with him that night alone.
So, after 2 weeks that included Rittenhouse apparently breaking down on the witness stand.
Yeah, that's absolutely untrue. There's no.
Verbal sparring between the judge and prosecutors and dozens of hours of testimony. It's now the jury's turn to talk, with this small town and the nation anxiously waiting to hear what they have to say.
Yeah. What do you think about that whole Rittenhouse stuff?
That's all bullshit. Okay, he went out there with the intention on bringing that attention to him. He went out there. Okay. Now, you got a gun. Now, was it? I forgot the whole ride. What was the whole ordeal with him being?
That was
out
part of
there?
that Black Lives Matter because of the shooting there.
Yeah, he went out there with intention just to kill someone. It was his intention. He was going to shoot someone.
I don't know if he necessarily was going to shoot someone, but I think he went there with intent. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the weapon that you had. You wouldn't be dressed like you had. You wouldn't have came from out of town. It wasn't even in your hood.
I'm like, why would you go out in public with a gun and a weapon knowing it's all black people? You're a white guy and you're dealing with a riot. So I'm like, if you look at all the riots in the past histories, when it comes to like the black and white thing, white people usually don't go to those things when it's that bad. They stay away from it because they know something bad could probably happen to them. We got a group of angry black people.
Hold
But
that
this guy
thought.
showed up.
Hold that thought. We got a caller. Caller?
Okay. Oh, there
yes,
you go.
Indeed. What's up, Smooth Tim?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing well, man. Can't complain.
What was you calling to talk about?
Well, I'm gonna weigh in on the subject at hand right now, as far as the guy running down the street with the gun. I think, it got a lot to do with the video games, Call of Duty, and, kids that age, they into them type of games, and the type of gun he had, it seemed like he was a vigilante or something, trying to hold his right to the Second Amendment, but not fully understanding what he was doing.
I think I think
that some of the culture that's out here right now, man, is really messing with the younger generation, making them do stupid things like gun violence.
Yeah, that was totally insane. And, just to watch him, that whole breakdown and sob and cry, and he may be emotionally distraught because he realizes how damn stupid he was. And I think you have a point to where he came in with a vigilante type attitude. I'm going to come in like Charles Bronson and make sure nothing happens. And the only people that got shot,
Charles Bronson, exactly.
the only people that got shot that night was from that young boy.
Yeah.
The police had no problems. Nobody else had any problems. This young boy from out of town who didn't belong there in the first damn place fired the shots.
Right.
So that's it could have been a lot of built up tension. It could have been something going on with him in this neighborhood, or something going on with how he feels. And then think about it too. They always say, actually, you don't develop mentally until you're 25 years old. And how old was he?
What is he? 18 or 19? He's a young boy.
Mentally, he wasn't there. He shouldn't have been out there.
Young boy, yeah.
He was a minor at the time when it happened, like 17, I think.
Yeah, but do you remember the things I did when I was 17?
Where's his mom and dad?
His mom didn't have a gun.
They had to take his mom and dad and slap them. What the hell are you letting your kid do this for?
Yeah, but I picture that was me running down the street. Mind you, I'm a black man. If I was running down that street like that with that gun, I'd be a dead man.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's the issues we're dealing with. We're dealing with those issues, and it's like no one is seeing it the way they seeing it from his eyes, but they're not seeing it from the people's eyes that were out there protesting, that been suppressed, that was actually trying to get a point across. They're seeing it from his eyes that he was out there, he felt that his life was in danger, but he's the one with the gun. No one fired back at him. No one pulled a gun on him. I'm trying to see what was the other gun. And if you're going to defend yourself with a gun, shouldn't somebody have another gun involved? I thought that's how it went in America.
I have real issues with the way people embrace the right to bear arms, and that would go even in when we seen this in Texas when they first did that. And these people are walking down the street with AR-15s. They may not be modified to be automatics, but still, I mean, what on earth why?
Yeah. That scares me whether you black, white, or
I don't care
whatever.
what color you are. I mean, why are you walking around with something like that?
With the guns. I'm scared. I'm like, man, I got a wife and daughter. I'm like, what are you doing with a gun in the middle of the street, walking down the street? There's no war zone. Why are you out here with that gun? You are not the police. It's already for the police with their guns because they still got to need some more training. But this young kid, it's terrifying, man.
I say it's the TV, the television, the video games, and the movies that has a lot of influence on what people choose.
Yes. And there's a movie just like that when this young white kid went on a rampage through town, shooting up everything. I forgot the name of the movie, and I watched it. It was crazy. He went through town with a gun, shooting up everything, everybody. And I forgot the name of the movie. I'm gonna try to pull it up next time. But there is a movie just like that with a young white kid with psychological mental issues that went around town shooting up stuff. Shooting up shit was incredible. It was crazy.
You know, there may be a point in the fact that these video games and TV, because I think it does create, insensitivity. Let me, and especially to even, and it elevates our shock culture to a level to where we're almost used to some of this shit.
That's bad, exactly.
And if you think about it, let's go back into the black and white era when Phantom of the Opera came out and they pulled off Lon Chaney's mask and he just like made a face. Everybody was like, I can't believe they did that. And that was shock back then. I mean, now we have decapitations in the movies. As the caller said, you can shoot everybody up if you want to in the video games, blood splat everywhere.
But you can reset it. You can reset it and start over. Get a new player. But this is real life. You don't really reset real life. Once you go that far, it's a done deal. It's a start over button on the game. I'm like, parents and youngsters. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's your name, bro? What's your name again?
LaRon.
Hey, thanks for calling in, LaRon, man.
No problem.
Is he our first? You probably like our first caller from for our show with me and Tim having our first show. Am I right or wrong?
Well,
Tim?
hey, get used to me calling.
Oh, you'd be right.
Weekly calling.
Oh, well.
Thank you, man. Come on, calling. I appreciate you tuning in with us.
But I think that people need to learn a lesson from this Rittenhouse, and especially what happens. And I think either way it goes, there's going to be controversy.
Yes, there's always going to be. That's what our society likes. That's what we need, because a lot of us don't live those exciting, extravagant lives. Some people need this drama. I'm like, drama is cool as long as it's not destructive,
Right.
Speaking of drama. Speaking of drama. Let's see here. Is that, hang on. Let me find. Yeah, there it is. Got to watch this one. Hear this one. Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a motion to make. This time we would ask that the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson, who I believe is still here, of course, he is, Your Honor, I think we all know, an icon in the civil rights movement. Not just a witness to it, he is the personification of it. And in other circumstances, I think everybody would be happy to have their picture taken, maybe get an autograph. But in the context of this trial, we object to his presence in the public gallery inside the courtroom. We note that there is a jury assembly room capable of holding, depending on how we socially distance, several hundred people, where these proceedings are being televised live in real time. The issue that Ray brought up previously is, how many pastors does the Arbery family have? We had the Reverend Al Sharpton here earlier, last week, and I'm not keeping track, and I think the court has indicated the court doesn't intend to ask anyone to keep track of who was in the gallery. But I don't know who Mr. Jackson, Reverend Jackson, is pastoring here.
Mr. Goff, at this point, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing. I have already ruled on this court's position with regard to the gallery. And with all candor, I was not even aware that Reverend Jackson was in the courtroom until you started your motion. I have indicated the court's position. The court's position hasn't changed. At this point, it's almost as if you're just trying to continue this for purposes other than just bringing it to the court's attention. And I find that objectionable from the court standpoint. I have said over and over and over in this trial that I am attempting to ensure that in this courtroom that the defendants receive a fair trial. And I will continue to do that. I have heard the objection. I have ruled previously on my position with regard to the gallery, and that is unchanged.
He ain't had nothing to do with what those guys did. So why is his presence so relevant? And yeah, civil rights, yes, of course, he's been there. He's seen it all. But at the end of the day, he's not the prosecutor. He's not the defender. He's just a
there
spectator.
for support. He's there to support.
And he could be supporting the judge. The judge ruled in the favor that let them come to court. Let them be there. Okay, let them be there. So it's like it's another smoke screen. He's trying to find a way to just kind of just put the tension on Reverend Jesse Jackson, take it off what the guys did. Okay, leave it on them.
I thought it was funnier than hell when he said, "I'm not keeping track, but
yeah,
Reverend Al Sharpton was here last week, and now you got."
It's like there's a white guy. How many black friends you got? Yeah, I got 3. How the hell you know you got 3? You count them? You know what I'm saying? You count every black person to come to the courtroom and just have them be Reverend? Come on, man. Justice. The justice system is corrupt, and we all know that. And it's another way for him to take the attention off of what those guys did.
Yeah, chase the guy down and shot him. Let's keep it real. I mean, I don't care how you paint it. I mean, that was. Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead. You had something to say?
I thought the court system was free to the public. I didn't know that. That's like saying, "Oh, we can't have 8 school teachers in here." All of his teachers could have came to the courts to see him when he. Oh, that's a little kid. They could be in the gym class and blah, blah, blah. But they ain't saying nothing about that. But why is it a problem when it's a pastor? When it's pastors, multiple pastors, or even well-known pastors? I thought it was free to the public to come and view the court proceedings if it's open to the public. You know what I mean? So why would they even bring that up?
They don't want to convict those guys. We all know that. They don't want to convict them to the fullest degree. They want somebody getting in trouble. Somebody gonna get in trouble, but they don't want any outside extra stuff going on, and they're afraid that if they don't do what they're supposed to be doing, it's gonna. Reverend Jake Jackson's been there, Al Sharpton's been there. You got the right black people in there, and we don't do the right thing. It's gonna be some shit.
Wait a minute, though. Think about the whole. They are they are just like 3 dumb white crackers.
What they fucking thinking?
Now let me think, and let me explain. I mean. You got a guy videotaping you going to kick the black guy's ass. Get this on tape, boy. You're going to love this. And there's live streaming it, right? I'm like, what on God's green earth are you thinking about?
What do you think was going to happen if you do something like that? I'm like, is the value of black people down there that low that you can do what you did and stream it, and then you can just go to court and say, my bad? You ain't on my bad when you done crucify someone like that.
I mean, that was obvious.
You just can't say my bad no more. I'm like, I think they're wasting time anyway. I'm like, when they got all that evidence, a lot of times I've seen officers make convictions on just
circumstantial
DNA.
Evidence.
Circumstantial evidence. They got they live streaming. They got the whole 9, and
and that's what I said. And these idiots gave it to them.
Oh my God!
That's the dumbest shit in the world. And then to sit there and say it was self-defense.
My bad.
I'm like, nah, whatever. But anyhow, it goes back to who gives a shit? Who's in the audience? As Laurent said, I believe it's an open forum unless for some reason it's a closed proceeding.
Why are you trying to hide it? Why is his presence so important to the outcome of the case? It's not.
Maybe I don't know if there's going to be some emotional effect on one of the jury members by seeing Jesse in the audience or not. I mean, I don't know what.
Is cut and dry. If he was in there singing those blacks hymns like "This little light of mine," stuff. He was in there doing that. I can understand.
Wait a minute.
We coming up on the right. If he started doing the sermons, everybody let's pray. Okay, but he's not even doing that.
No, he was just like the judge said. I wouldn't have known he was here if he didn't bring it up.
Right.
That's how it is, man. It's
sad.
sad.
Man.
The crazy part about it is,
something else.
Yeah, it just get the case over with and move on. It's gonna be something else. Like you said, it's gonna be something else around. Something else is gonna happen. We got something else coming down the line. They prolonging this too long for you know what they're trying to do. They're not trying to give that man the proper justice that he deserves, and his family or his friends or anybody. They're prolonging the justice he should deserve, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, they already talking about a mistrial.
I haven't heard that one. Yeah, why the hell not though, right? No, I think
that's the shock you talking about. It's a shame that we sitting there saying it's gonna be a mistrial, it's tiresome shit, but we like thinking like, man, so they're gonna talking about a mistrial. That guy's finna get screwed.
Well, it's a big ass waste of money. That's the thing that gets you so upset. And it goes right back to when we went to topic number 1 is, Trump appeal after appeal, and you're getting this money going out, from the public. His supporters don't seem to give a shit, but I give a shit.
Right.
If
tax dollars, man.
That's tax dollars, I guess, if you don't mind it floating out the window from somebody you can't trust.
Have you seen the price of a loaf of bread?
Not getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like, how can I pay taxes and buy bread? I can't do them both. Stop wasting my money on these courts, these cases when you worried about Reverend Justice Jackson. He ain't like he took a Bible out. Let's turn to Jacob.
To job. I get one. Anyhow, no, I heard that, I believe it was like 3.5 million people quit their job last month.
Wow. Including me, but I got a new one.
Well, you got another one, didn't you? Come on now.
You're like, I'm between jobs right now.
That was temporary. But, I mean, and you think about it, that's what blows my mind. We've had this discussion too. I mean, these companies are offering, starting you out, at, up to $30 an hour. They're talking about, paying you, a college tuition. And they've got all these other incentives, and people just don't want to go to work.
It's changing. I saw Dairy Queen when I was on vacation. It was a little small country town. They paying just cooks $15, $16 an hour just to put together a dude sandwich. I'm like, I worked at Dairy Queen when I was younger. I'm like, where was that money at? She gave me $8 million.
You know what I think though? I think people are starting to work for themselves more, especially since they got all the food platforms like DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that.
That's true
people
too.
Finding time to make money that they need and also spend time with their families and stay out of the public because of the COVID thing. So they just go out here and do DoorDash, and it's easy to make $100. Say you make $100 a day times, well, say you make $800 a week. That's equivalent to almost $50,000 a year.
Yeah, well, I have a cousin and a friend of mine. My cousin, she does DoorDash, and she actually does enough where she pays her car note. Real nice car. And another guy, a friend of mine, he does the driving. I forgot the name of it.
Uber
Lyft. And on top of that, he put a sign on top of his car where they pay him $500 a month as he drives just to advertise.
Is that one of those digital signs you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
and
seen
I was
those.
like, yeah. So there are other alternatives, and actually, like the workforce is not like it used to be. And then you still got to do a lot of racism that we got to deal with outside the workforce. But at the end of the day, you would hate to have to go to work all day, and then you get out of work, you see stuff like this, the headlines we go over every week. I'm like, man, I got to deal with that crap at work. Now they trying to screw somebody else too.
But you know what? We've talked about this too. And in some way, you as a business owner, and I'll real quickly, you're going to have to figure out something for your workforce. And I seen on TV, and I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was Arby's or one of the other ones. They're getting computer operated fry makers.
Yeah, I see that. That was at Popeyes.
Popeyes, that's what it is. Popeyes. That the machine grabs the fries, puts the amount of fries into it, dips it into the bath, drips it in, pulls it back up, shakes it.
Man,
it was amazing. I'm like, see, what's happening is, we're gonna fuck up.
Right.
We're fucking up.
Got a new automated drive-through.
Well, they get him more time to concentrate on customer service. Because I went to one restaurant last night. I took my food back and I said, "Give my damn money back," because I ain't got to go through all this just to get some chicken.
Now, who was
I'm like,
that?
They
Did I
didn't
hear
want to
that?
give me Tim. They didn't want to give me the stuff that came with my meal. I said it comes with the meal. You can't go back there and get it.
Oh man.
Now, is it KFC that's going to start closing their drive-thru, and it's going to be like come in, app, pick it up, use an app to pre-order it and or come in and
Kind
order?
of like Chipotle has something like that, and Firehouse Subs have it where they make it, stick it on a little rack, and you go in there and pick it up off the rack.
Yeah, I thought it was KFC. LaRon, have you heard about that?
A lot of those restaurants, they do that when you come pick it up just on the rack, and that's a good way to get some free food.
I know. I'm just thinking
until they get it the right way, because I have done that before. I call it a mystery bag.
Hey, we was at Chipotle last night. We paid for ours at Chipotle last night. I saw that a young kid came and got his bag. I was like, damn, why we paying for our food? We could just got us something off there and just roll with it. But
ain't nobody asking no questions. They was looking at it. They ain't asking no questions.
There's a bunch of young kids. Yeah, them kids don't care. Young kids is working the front register. They don't care.
I see LaRon coming. I'm going to order a shit sandwich from some place.
I'll be snitching. Hey, that's LaRon. Hey, I'll be like, it's LaRon right there. They're probably his bad, LaRon. Snitching like it was. I'll go in with LaRon. If they don't say nothing to him, I get me one.
That's cold-blooded, man. I'll tell you what. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Answer your question, though, Tim. I don't know if it was KFC. I think it was a different restaurant. I think it was a different restaurant that was closing down the drive-thru. But I'm not sure, though. I'm probably wrong about that. But,
no, it was one of them. No, that's what I was trying to remember. Is I can't remember the chain. It's not. It's a major chain, but and it probably is not KFC. But there's said we're done with the drive-thru. We're strictly going to have you order by app and or walk in and order.
Yeah, I forget. I think I have no idea. Now
and I can't remember myself. Anyhow, you know what else has been in the news? Now this one's real interesting.
I read up on that one, yeah.
This one is real interesting. And this can be scary.
Mm.
Especially since it's not going to play.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. I just see all black. Am I dead?
You're dead. Let's go with this one here. Hang on a second, Larry. I'll come back to us and then we'll get that.
Okay.
A report of a Chinese missile test, which shows progress with an advanced weapon called a hypersonic missile. Our foreign correspondent James Longman is tracking the story from London. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. This demonstrates a huge step forward in China's military capability, and it's understood that U.S. intelligence had no idea that China had moved this far ahead. Now, all this is according to a report Britain's Financial Times newspaper, and they say that this summer, China managed to launch a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile. They launched it into space. It circled the Earth before cruising towards its target. Now, these missiles, they can travel at 5 times the speed of sound. They can fly lower than conventional missiles, and they can also be maneuvered in the air, which makes them very difficult to trace. So, bottom line, all this essentially means China is close to being able to launch a nuclear warhead against any other nation without any warning, and there'd be no defense against it. As you might expect, China is denying all this. They say it wasn't even a hypersonic missile. It was actually a routine test to verify reusable technology. But this test was shrouded in secrecy back in the summer. The US and Russia are also trying to develop this kind of technology, but I think it's fair to say China is well ahead in this particular weapons race. It's understood the missile actually landed some 25 miles away from its intended target, but it seems like it's only a matter of time before they have a significant advantage over the United States. George.
James Longman, thanks very much.
Hey, when the Chinese put porn on the cell phone, I knew they were geniuses. I said they owned to something.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what.
Hey, you know the key words? The United States, we already got 31 missiles. And I read it, we got 31 missiles. China has 11. And they said, was it Russia already got their missiles too?
No, Xi Jinping, you know, that leader, I mean, to deny that something like that, that I did that kind of a test, obviously everybody knows it happened.
He lying. Yeah,
So but man, is that ever scary? And especially, tensions are really growing over there because he's real interested in taking over Taiwan. They still believe that Taiwan belongs to China. Yes, not as an independent country separate of themselves.
So are they allies with the United States, Taiwan?
And there's the problem. Therein lies the problem. And, they're allies, and we have, that obligation to our allies. And they're saying, don't come and let, China come in and just whip our ass, and they've made all these different maneuvers. The only thing that I do know that they're doing in Taiwan is, they're beefing up their border that faces China. That could easily be a war. Do we have the military to handle it? I believe, between our reservists and everybody else, we probably have the military to handle it, but I'd hate to think with their technology that they're obviously have, it would be catastrophic.
Yeah, they got missiles that's going around the Earth. Think about it. You shoot a missile towards China, and you say you can track it through like the regular atmosphere. How are you going to shoot into space and track it into space?
No, this isn't even in frickin' space.
But I also heard that Russia had something like that in space that they was testing, that the USA wasn't even liking. They didn't like that.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, we have 31 official. The United States has 31 weapons of mass destruction. Okay, that's one too many. So, like I say, Tim, something is always going on with the government. They're not always telling us. If they're telling us this, that means they got 1,000 other things that's going on they're not telling us. And that's dangerous. I'm like, we have the best service, okay, but we don't have
the.
Go ahead, Lauren.
The Chinese, they own us for real. We owe them money.
Big money. We've
been owing them money for years and years and years. So they didn't swindle and finesse their way into getting new technology, because mostly all the technology, well, not mostly technology, but a lot of the stuff that we buy comes from overseas. It's not made in America, so,
Yeah.
That's why you can't get your car. We're waiting on the foreign parts to come in. Oh, those are stuck out. Those are stuck out in what? In San Francisco Bay on some ship, some damn place.
Hey,
I don't know.
Tim tried to order a part. Gene Ping was, I ain't sending Tim shit. Get this part with the I do to you, man. That's Trump now,
Unbelievable. But you know what? I'll tell you what. When it comes to this, real quickly, and because I haven't really heard them even inform us about, the ability to get freaking nuked, and you're not even gonna get a warning.
You ain't gonna see it coming.
But anyhow, as a public service announcement from the Tims and Tid-Bits from Tim and Larry E.
Dum dum, diddle dum dum, diddle dum dum, diddle dum dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association. Produced by Archer Productions, Incorporated. Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people, please. Oh, all right. We really can't blame you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. Sometimes it even saves his life. That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time.
You know,
So
I'm kind of shocked by that.
And wait.
Where did they find two black kids getting that video without? What they just see this? Them some throwbacks.
I found duck and like that's what is that gonna buy you?
And I'm pretty sure those kids did that video because they're so damn stupid.
You realize, we know what a nuclear explosion is gonna do. This
LeBron, come on, baby.
Everything's gone just woof dust. That's all there's gonna be left.
How you feel about that video, man?
You know what's so crazy is, like, why would you want to develop something like that and do something like that? I think it's stupid.
It's sad, and they use kids to play to our psyche. Let's put the kids in the video. Let's get a monkey in a tree. Just monkey in the tree. Let's get a turtle. Let's get a firecracker. You talking about a nuclear warhead? What does it have to do with anything that was in the video? It's just plain stupid. It's uncalled for, and I think it's a joke. Honestly, I got 1,000 jokes I can tell about that. I'm like, nuclear and duck and cover is stupid. Can you go on the ground when it's a nuclear bomb hits? Can you survive on the ground like a bunker or something like that?
You could probably. They do have bunkers that you could survive in. On the initial blast, if it does not kill you, the fallout is what's going to get you because everything's going to be contaminated. I mean, you can't there's going to be no food source, no water source. So
I'm like, when you become that big in society and the government, why not talk about it? They always say old man talk and young man fight. These guys are not young men. They're not in their 15s, they're not in their teens or 20s or whatever. These are older men with power and experience and knowledge. They should sit there and talk to each other and say, hey, we have these kids, you have your kids, they have their kids. The future are them. Why are we sitting here bickering like kids when we're men and we're older and we have money and we have power and we have resources to figure it out?
Especially should be concerned is your 25 and under crowd. Those are the ones that are going to catch the ticket, overseas to help fight a battle that could have been prevented.
Yeah, then we have a bunch of kids walking down the street. A lot of people don't know. We don't extend the show, but stuff like that with the kids walking down the street with guns, they're being recruited when they're young in other third world countries. Okay, we're blessed in America. They're blessed in China. We all have our hoods, but our superpower, we don't have to worry about that. We have running water, we have sanitation, we have infrastructures where a government's going to take our certain things, so we should not be going through that. That's something we should not even be talking about. But, the government, they have their own agenda.
They always do. Hey, man, you know what? LeRon, you were saying something?
I was saying that the kids, they don't understand. The kids in America don't understand that. You know what I mean? They don't really see the whole broad perspective of different kids and different environments on the other side of the world.
Yeah, some people have to fight. Some kids have to fight. Right. Some places have to fight. We don't have to.
And going back to the conversation about the guy running on the street with the gun, so that kind of.
Oh, Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, him running down with the gun, and then you got kids overseas, they toting guns and, they ready for war at the age of 12.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to survive like that. You gonna do that shit over here, man.
Yeah, because there's constant conflict. And see, there again, you said, Ron said, why do we have to have a weapon like an atomic bomb? Because it's always who's got the bigger dick.
Yeah, for real.
And just like it may be in Africa, where I think he may be referred to, where these young kids are recruited at such a young age and they're recruited into the various armies that they're fighting between the lands. And I don't know, so I can't speak on it. I've seen videos, but it's always a land grab. It's always a power grab.
Yep, and it's like places like Haiti, Africa. It's a lot of places. It could be some places in Vietnam. We'll probably do some research on it so we can be more solid on it. But we don't have to live like this, man. We don't have to have weapons of mass destruction when we have all these other great things that we're utilizing. Why?
And you
But
think
like
about
you
it.
said,
But you know what? America is going over there and giving them the weapons and giving them the blueprints to make these bombs and stuff like that too.
Oh, you saying we sold them technology?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
oh yeah,
Us?
taught them how to fight too.
Us? And we taught you how to why?
You know what I
It's
want
gonna
to say? Just like we when we came out of Iraq and they gave the Taliban. This is the Taliban, the same Taliban they talking about 10, 15 years ago. They done gave them weapons, or they gave them helicopters and tanks. Even though they disarmed them, you know what I'm saying? They still had control of the airport. They had control of the whole country. And we just let them have it. Like, oh, there you go.
You know what that's not a first. Now my daddy served in Okinawa, and he was there through the Japanese surrender. And when they did surrender and they were leaving the island, what they did is he was a CB, where they like rebuilt the Quonsets and the airstrips and all that kind of stuff. Rather than take the equipment back to America, the expense of all that, they just had them drive it all off of the edge of the cliff. So they just littered the ocean so that, any other force or anybody else, it was of no use. They just drove it off the cliff into the ocean, and that's how they remedied it.
And we friendly now though.
Isn't that insane? You think about that, it's like, wow.
Friendly now. We friendly now. Give
That's
them everything.
crazy.
And then complain. Why he got this? Because you gave it to him. Why they act like that? Because you taught him that way. How come we can fight so well? How come I got knocked out? Because we taught him how to knock your ass out. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I'm
man,
surprised that they did leave that type of stuff behind, because you're right. Yeah, I've seen that. Why didn't you blow it up or something?
Man, I'm like, if you trying to win a war, you don't should give no advantage.
Disable it in some way. I mean, I don't care.
We can blow up little kids and women and children, but we can't blow up our own weapons.
Well, I wouldn't, that's like leaving a loaded gun around with a kid going to work saying, oh, well.
Right.
Like they're not going to use it. They're not going to be curious. Like, this thing work? I could use this. No.
Yeah, they will be.
Or hire somebody from Russia or China to help them fix it, what they took out of it to make it work again.
Oh, what are you trying to say? Chinese can fix anything, Lorraine?
No, he said Chinese can destroy anything.
What were you saying there, Lorraine? Just double checking. I didn't want any racist remarks on this show. Thank you very much.
We done did all that all. Yeah, we done already messed. I know I done messed it up because I always say something crazy like this.
Hey, you know what?
It's just jokes.
Let me ask you a question. How many times a day do you get these freaking calls about car warranties?
When Edward Rinaldi bought his Honda Pilot, he opted for an extended warranty. But like the majority of people who buy one, he didn't use it.
I paid $1,800 for this warranty, and it turns out I never really needed it whatsoever.
A Consumer Reports survey of 12,000 subscribers found extended warranties are an expensive gamble.
We found that more than half of people who bought an extended warranty never used the coverage. And even among those who did, they spent far more for the coverage than they saved in repairs.
The cost of an extended car warranty averaged more than $1,200. Among those who used it, the median savings was just $837, a net loss of more than $375.
We survey subscribers about all kinds of things, all kinds of products and services, and what we found with extended warranties was that they rated down at the bottom in satisfaction.
Owners of Hondas, Subarus, and Toyotas were especially disappointed with their extended warranties. Less than a quarter of them said they'd buy one if they had it to do again.
Well, Hondas, Subarus, Toyotas, those all tend to be very reliable brands to begin with. So the odds are that those people really had even less need for their extended warranties. And we think that's probably why they were less satisfied.
Like many of those surveyed, Edward Rinaldi says he wouldn't buy an extended car warranty again.
I just don't see the necessity for it.
Consumer Reports says the best bet? Buy a reliable car and keep it in top shape.
interesting.
Hey Tim, I'm
Yeah.
glad they didn't say my car. I was like, ugh.
You know what? No, I mean, how many of those damn calls do you get a day?
Man, those warranties are like herpes. Once you get it, you never get rid of it. I'm on like my fourth car. I'm still getting calls from the other 3 cars I done got rid of and wrecked. I'm like, bro, that car's gone, bro.
You know, and I looked that up too. The same thing is what they're telling you. My God, you're going to spend $1,000 to $2,000 a year for this extended warranty, and the average repair bill is like $850. So, like you said, I'm already taking it up the ass for buying this thing.
Right.
They scaring us because nobody wants to be broke down. And the last thing.
Oh, right. I don't care who's selling it. Wait.
Last thing you want to do is pay something. Now you going to the club or something. Your car break down. You're like, oh man. And the last thing you want to do is your night ruined from your car breaking down, and then you ain't got the money to get it fixed. So there you go.
I'm not trying to disrespect.
Well,
I'm not trying to disrespect Ice Cube, but hey, even though he's a customer.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to him. I got a warranty on the car I bought. I bought a car that had like 15,000 miles on it. I got extended warranty, and I ain't used it. I'm just glad they didn't say my car. I ain't used it. I don't think I've ever used a warranty. Maybe I had an old Ford Expedition, a 2000 Ford Expedition. I used my warranty. Nah, I got screwed on that one too, bro.
Yeah, but think about what your warranty covers. Your warranty does not cover brakes.
Nope.
Tires.
Or tires.
The basic stuff.
It covers, like engine, exhaust, that kind of stuff. Transmission, but other than that.
This is the crazy part. Miss an oil change and try to go get your warranty, and they will do an analysis of your oil and see if you're doing your oil changes right, and they will void you using your warranty.
Yeah.
So you really got to be on top of your game. And like he said, the best thing to do,
take care of your car.
Take care of your car. Change your oil. Make sure you change it. I say in country, change your oil, and do the tune-ups, transmission fluids, check your shocks. The stuff that they'll cover, those are the ones you want to take care of, the major things. Everything else around you just screwed. They're not gonna give you.
You got a vehicle around?
Yes, sir, I do. I get my oil change every 3,000 miles or every 4,000 miles. Yes, I got a 100,000 mile warranty.
So you got one.
I got one of those Texas warranties on there. But you know what? It went over my head for real. Like I really don't even remember anything about what my car is warranty under unless I go back and look at the paperwork.
Hey, LeRon, my check engine light came on in my car, and I didn't screw the gas cap in tight enough. So I'm looking through my warranty trying to figure out what it covers and doesn't cover, and it only covers. It doesn't cover 30 things. It covers like 6 things. So it's a rip off.
That's why what mine does too.
Yeah, look at it. You'll be shocked when you look at it. You're gonna be mad as hell. You're like, what? Look at it. I was like,
I looked at it one time, man. I got a flat tire, man, and I was like, man, some brand new tires. And I'm like, well, shit, the tires cost $180 for a brand new tire, and I don't want no old ass tire on my car. So I got a new car.
Right.
So
they don't
I
cover
was like, well, damn, I should have a warranty on my tires. I do.
Now,
for wear and tear.
But
not for like self-destruction.
Now, hopefully he didn't fall into the big scam. The big scam would be, now what we could do is you could buy an extended warranty to go along with this vehicle, and we'll roll it right into your loan. Oh my God! So that I can pay interest on that extra $1,000. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. They're slick.
Yeah, they got me.
Oh, what? No way.
Yeah, I got screwed. I shouldn't say it.
They started double talking your ass.
Yeah, they got me, man. Yeah, I got screwed. I just thought about it. Like, damn.
Yeah, we could roll that right into you. Here, let's see. And think about this. So if you're spending in however long you own that vehicle and you're spending $1,000 a year and you've had it 5-6 years, you've got $6,000 worth of repair credit in there, right? Supposedly.
No, I paid a lump sum though, Tim.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But if you keep getting extended warranties, you're going to keep paying for them.
I mean, some people know they actually roll it right into the loan.
They do?
Yeah.
I ain't getting no extended warranty on my shit.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't give me like that. I paid one lump sum, so I paid.
Yeah,
for
you
one
can do it a
amount.
couple different ways. Now, what you can do is a lot of them come with a factory warrant, i.e., what Ron was talking about. His came with like 100,000-mile warranty. You must have a Honda or something.
I got Mitsubishi.
Oh, there we go. Foreign car. There we go.
Yeah.
Well,
They got some good warranties though.
right.
You know, extended
So you don't
warranties
need another warranty. I mean, you're
No.
not covering anything, and like you said, unless you're going to start covering brakes and tires, I don't want it.
By the time I get to 100,000, I'll be almost done with that car.
You heard?
Trade it in. Trade it. Man, I'll trade in for another one. Start over.
Man, oh man. Well, hey, listen. Hey, well, what we got to do though is really quick. Let me get into Cam's full. Get into Larry. As we do every week, you got to throw us down a fitness tip.
All right, then, everyone, check this. This is very important, too, when it comes to fitness. Personal trainers have to stick with their scope of training. Personal trainers are not licensed dietitians. They're not licensed to give you a meal plan. They're not licensed to say, eat this, eat that, eat this portion, eat that portion, only unless they got the trainer, they can't tell you that. But a lot of personal trainers will go outside their scope of training and do that. And for a professional personal trainer, that's illegal. Okay, you can actually lose your licensing because of that. Only thing a personal trainer can do, they can recommend something. They can't tell you what to get. They can recommend, maybe try this, maybe look into these vitamins, maybe look into eating lean meats, maybe looking at cutting out your carbs. But they cannot just give you a meal plan and say, follow this. You're going to lose weight. That's not their job. That's not our scope. We can't do that. So beware of personal trainers that do that. Ask them, are you a licensed dietitian? If they're not, don't listen to them, because they could possibly give you some foods that your body doesn't react to. So that's the LRE tip of the week. LRE Fitness. We keep you moving.
Fantastic. And how can you be followed?
Check me out on Facebook at Larry Estelle. I'm sorry, LRE Fitness. I'm also on YouTube. Come on. I'm putting YouTube. I'm going to get a video coming out soon.
Y'all YouTube it now.
It's going to be funny. LRE Fitness, Facebook, Instagram, same thing, LRE Fitness. And then check me out on LinkedIn at Larry Estelle. And my Facebook is Estelle. Well, I got Estelle Junior Larry Plus, but my workout is LR. My fitness thing, my business is LRE Fitness on Facebook. So
yeah, I need to be a part of that, because I need to get some fitness in my life.
Man, listen, I live to train. I don't train to live. I love it.
Shut up. Anyhow, hey, you can follow me, Tim McGiffin, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and or you can get a hold of me at our website, thequeensylviashow.com. Also, hey, guest, can you be followed, or do you want to give a shout out?
What you got, LeBron?
Well, I don't mess around with Facebook anymore, or Meta, as they say.
Yeah,
but,
Meta's right.
Meta.
You can just follow me, Instagram, LP33rd, Twitter, LP33rd. And that's it. I really don't mess with social media like that.
Cool.
You can also follow me on YouTube, LP's Flavor Review. If you like, check out some of the good eats, the good treats. So why I need to go work out at that fitness room.
That's why he needs Larry's LRE Fitness.
And I'm telling you, it's gonna be the best thing you ever do in your life is exercise. That's better than any drug. That adrenaline.
I'm gonna check you out, man.
Amen.
Hey, hit me up so I can follow you too, though. Check my let me see. I know Tim got to close the show out though. So
yeah, let's close the show out. Anyhow, so until next week, Larry, tell him we'll holla.
All right, hey, yeah, great show. Hey, thanks for tuning in, LeRon. Thank you, Queen.